Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Wise Guy Talk Show. I am Guy Midkiff, the host of Wise Guy Talks, and just in case you've missed me for the last 5 years, here's what happened, guys. I got banned from YouTube for breaking their mythical rules about what you can and cannot post. The reality of it was that I was talking about issues during the COVID experience where it would have been nice if we could have had a national discussion and not be silenced. It's not the way it turned out, unfortunately, and tens of thousands of conservative content promoters lost their voice, their free speech during COVID. And thanks only to my man Donald Trump, thousands of us last month were able to recover our accounts on YouTube, and I'm back after 5 years. Hey, so let's just jump right into today's show, which I'm going to call Heroes or Zeros. Let's go to the video that is stirring up so many serious questions within this country regarding military conduct and the not so subtle insinuation that Donald Trump is somehow forcing our military to break the law. So let's go to the video.
I'm Senator Elissa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlahan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military,
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Well, folks, what did you think about the video? I think it's going to go one of two ways. You're either going to have loved this video or you're going to find it to be one of the most reprehensible things you've ever seen in your life. Regardless, can you drop your comments down below? Let's start a conversation about whether you thought this is a good idea. And if you think it's a good idea, give us all your legal references, UCMJ references, what you think's going on, potential illegal laws that may have been listed, even though they were not mentioned. So again, who do you think was front and center in this, what I'm going to call a clown show? That's Senator Mark Kelly. Recently, 6 Democrats of military intel backgrounds released a pretty well-produced Hollywood-level slick video aimed straight at active duty troops and our intelligence community. The cast of what I would call clowns include Senator Elissa Slotkin, former CIA officer, Senator Mark Kelly, retired Navy captain and astronaut, Congressman Jason Crow, former Army Ranger, Congresswoman Chrissy Houlahan, Air Force veteran Congressman Chris Deluzio, Navy veteran and Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander, former national security and intelligence lawyer, apparently. That one I haven't heard of. They wrapped themselves in their service ribbons and, in the case of Mark, with in front of his aircraft that he flew on board the aircraft carrier to give them some degree of stature in this argument. And then they lecture our troops today about refusing illegal orders from the President of the United States, in my mind, clearly signaling that they meant Donald Trump. Who else could they have meant? They sell it like a neutral civics lesson, but the language is lawyered up. And to me, it's intentionally vague. They never dare name a single specific illegal order. Instead, what do? They float a clever dog whistle. Lots of talk about threats from within and unlawful commands, but only insinuations and innuendo about what those orders might be. That deliberate ambiguity is my point. It plants the idea that that this commander-in-chief is suspicious by default, without ever putting anything concrete on record. And here's where it goes from irresponsible to outright dangerous. Mark Kelly, former Navy pilot, former astronaut, now a U.S. Senator, he, of all people, knows exactly what he's doing. And when he looks into the camera and tells the troops to go get ready to say no to orders from their own commander-in-chief, unlike most of the other others in this video, Kelly is still a retired Navy officer, which means he remains under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, or what we'll call the UCMJ here going forward. And he can be called to face court-martial if his conduct undermines good order and discipline. In my mind, that's exactly what this man has done. He wore the uniform, he knows the rules, and yet he still chose to participate in a seditious dog whistle aimed at active duty personnel, and shame the hell on him. Let's be clear. Every service member already knows they must refuse truly unlawful orders. That has been drilled into them since basic training. We all know that. I was in the Marine Corps. I was a naval aviator. I was a pilot that flew for the Marine Corps, and later on 35 years in the airline. So you don't need a glossy partisan video to remind professionals such as ourselves of what they already understood. So what is this really all about? It's about signaling to the active left, don't trust Trump with the military, and signaling to disgruntled troops. And yeah, we will find them out there. There's always your 1%. You're justified in second-guessing the commander-in-chief before you even know what the order is. That's how you erode confidence in civilian control of the military and inject party politics into one institution that must stay focused on the mission, not ideology. And here's what Mark Kelly and his Democrat buddies never say in that cute little video that they produced. I wonder who paid for it, by the way. The junior troops who actually follow this political advice are the ones whose lives will most certainly get wrecked, not the politicians. They always walk away from it. In the real world, if a service member decides on their own that an order is illegal and refuses it, and they're wrong, they can get hammered under the UCMJ. That can mean a BCD, or what we call a bad conduct discharge, loss of rank, forfeiture of pay and benefits, confinement, and a permanent black stain that follows them for the rest of their civilian life. So to say that they're giving out bad advice is good advice from this end. We're talking careers ended, GI Bill gone, job applications trashed, and in some cases, real jail time. Is it worth it listening to these guys who clearly have a political agenda? So when some 20-year-old corporal or seaman misreads the situation and refuses a lawful order because a bunch of politicians on social media told him to stand up, where's Mark Kelly and the other Democrats going to be? They won't be in the brig, that's for damn sure. They won't be sitting in front of a court-martial, that's for damn sure. They'll be back in Washington, D.C., moving on to the next palace intrigue, the next media hit, the next fundraising email. That's the ugliest part of this. They're playing games with young Americans' freedom and futures to score political points against a president that they truly hate, what we call Trump derangement syndrome. They're not the ones who'll lose rank, lose retirement, or sit in a cell. They won't be the kid in that uniform that will be unfortunately having to go through this. All right, let's zoom out. Under presidents who projected strength and clarity like George W. Bush during 9/11, military recruitment surged as young Americans lined up to serve, because whether or not they agreed with every policy of the president, they believed in the mission and they respected the chain of command. Under Joe Biden, the Pentagon turned DEI into its new obsession, pushing divisive identity politics instead of cohesive, merit, and warfighting focus. Morale dropped. We all know that for a fact. Recruitment cratered, and parents started asking if they really wanted their kids in a politicized military. That's the environment that these 6 Democrats are now pouring gasoline on, telling troops to be suspicious of orders from the duly elected commander-in-chief. So, heroes or zeros? When a retired Navy officer and a sitting senator, still under the reach of the UCMJ, uses his past uniform to send a seditious, lawyered up, dog whistle to the ranks, encouraging doubt and defiance toward the commander-in-chief, that's not courage, that's reckless. It's self-serving cowardice. Mark Kelly and the rest of his crew will not pay the price for this stunt. Mark my word for that. The ones who will pay are the young men and women who took an oath, who trusted their leaders, and then got sacrificed on the altar of partisan politics. On this episode of Heroes and Zeros, Mark Kelly and his friends are solid zeros. If you want a military that is strong, that's focused, and not used as a prop in political theater, hit the subscribe button and share this video with your pals. Wise Guy Talks is here to call out the people who put their own ambitions ahead of the troops they claim to protect. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for listening to Wise Guy Talks. Missed you guys after 5 years. I didn't do it on purpose. I promise I'll be back at least once a week talking about things that I think are important to this wonderful country that we live in, the United States of America. Take care. Peace out.